Welcome to the University of Maine's 214th commencement. Our program will begin in just a few minutes. Please note that emergency exit doors are located in the east and west main lobbies and the north and south ends of the arena concourse. They are designated by red exit signs. For medical assistance, please refer to the first aid station located behind section CC. In the event of an emergency, please exit in a calm and orderly fashion and follow the directions of the ushers and other event personnel. Our program today begins with Aaron Copeland's Fanfare for the Common Man, performed by the University of Maine Ceremonial Brass. Please rise and give your attention to this musical presentation which announces the entrance of the class of 2016.
Good morning. I am Susan Hunter, President of the University of Maine. Welcome to the 214th commencement ceremony. Please remain standing as UMaine graduating senior and music major Joseph Koff Jr. sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Finally. Finally. This day is a milestone for each member of the University of Maine class of 2016. You now join more than 107,000 deeply loyal alumni who have improved the world around them. Each and every one of these thousands of individuals chose UMaine for a distinct reason. All followed through with their commitment to the institution and to themselves by earning the degree. They are part of UMaine's more than 150-year legacy as a leader of education and innovation for the state of Maine and beyond. Since the university opened its doors in 1865, its statewide mission has withstood the test of time. We provide high-quality, affordable education that utilizes practices grounded in how people best learn. We conduct research and scholarship that is critically evaluated within the disciplines and often leads to national and international recognition. And we conduct outreach that is connected to and supportive of the people and the enterprises of the state of Maine. And in doing all of this, we insert students in real-world enterprises to inform their academic work and provide incredible growth opportunities. And I believe in many cases, it is in these engagement opportunities where passion is discovered and the path forward is seen. This is a wonderful university that has a critical leadership role in Maine and beyond. And it is with great pride that I remind you that this 151-year-old institution is now forever a part of your identity, just as you are the legacy of the University of Maine. Congratulations. Graduating students know better than anyone how challenging it would have been to reach this wonderful moment without the encouragement and support of your family and friends. They too are an important part of this celebration, and at this time I would like to ask all the family members and friends of graduates joining us here today to stand so that we may thank you. Let's recognize them. I would like to take just a moment to introduce the members of the stage party. Would you please hold your applause until all of them stand? Class of 2016 Valedictorian Nicholas Freed. University of Maine Alumni Association Chair Nathan Briggs. University of Maine System Board of Trustee James Donnelly. Honorary degree recipient Leonard Minsky. Vice President for Student Life and Dean of Students Dr. Robert Dana. Distinguished Maine Professor Dr. Jim Roscoe. Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost Dr. Jeffrey Hecker. Vice President for Research and Dean of the Graduate School Dr. Carol Kim. Class of 2016 Salutatorian Connor Smart. Very good. Honorary degree recipient and commencement speaker, Ambassador Pamela White. So my sincere thanks to all of them for participating in today's ceremony. Every year, the university celebrates the achievements of our inspiring faculty through several awards. The University of Maine Alumni Association names the Distinguished Maine Professor, and the university names 3 Presidential Award winners for outstanding teaching, research and creative achievement, and public service achievement. As I call your names, please rise and remain standing. Now, some of the recipients will be joining us for the afternoon ceremony. Dr. Jim Roscoe, 2016 Distinguished Maine Professor. Mr. Matt Gray, the Presidential Outstanding Teaching Award. Dr. Neil Pettigrew, Presidential Outstanding Research and Creative Achievement Award. Dr. Amy Freed, Presidential Public Service Achievement Award. The accomplishments of these The accomplishments of these 4 outstanding faculty members are in your program, and we will honor them at a luncheon following this ceremony. I now ask that all of the faculty stand so that we can express our appreciation for their wonderful work in mentoring our students to success. At this time, I ask Distinguished Maine Professor Dr. Jim Roscoe, Professor of Anthropology, to offer greetings on behalf of the University of Maine faculty.
Well, thank you and greetings to you all. I'm asked to give the Celebration of Academia speech, and this is a very good time to do so because academia has been getting a rather bad press of late. We read in the media that academia is too expensive, academics don't do enough work, students don't know anything useful when they come out, and so on. And when I hear these complaints, I can't help but think of Ed Anger, who was, or still is, a regular contributor to that tabloid newspaper, the Weekly World News. Now, you folks down there at the back, you probably don't remember the Weekly World News because it went out of print in 2007, but you can still find it online. Your mums and dads up there in the nosebleed sections and the gallery, they will probably remember it because it was in all of the checkout lines at Shaw's and Hannaford's supermarkets. Now, in case you didn't know, the Weekly World News claims to be the world's only reliable news source, and you'd better believe it, it is. Back in 1997, it scooped the world with front-page photographs of Bill Clinton meeting with space aliens in the White House. I just checked in last week and noticed that they were reporting that astronomers were stunned to discover that Saturn is a gigantic UFO. They also, by the way, had a very useful guide, how to sell your soul to the devil, which, too late for me, I sold mine ages ago. As you can tell, I'm a faithful reader of the Weekly World News, and that's because I'm an anthropologist. Now, when I say I'm an anthropologist, people usually kind of say, oh, you're one of those people that digs up old bones, which kind of makes me feel like a glorified dog. I'm actually one of those anthropologists who studies people while they're still alive and kicking rather than 6 feet under. So I, for example, studied a tribe in New Guinea for 2 years. Now, I think I can speak for all anthropologists. We love the Weekly World News because it keeps us up on the cutting edge of our research in our discipline. I still vividly remember, for instance, the headline, "Cannibals Shrink Space Aliens' Head." Cannibals, shrunken heads. This is like catnip to anthropologists. And with space aliens in there as well, it doesn't get any better than that, folks. So anyway, back to the point. The Weekly World News has this columnist, Ed Anger, and Ed has an anger problem. Every week, he's kind of getting really out of sorts, blowing a gasket over something that's been in the news that week. He always starts with a sentence along the lines of, I'm madder than a polar bear in a sauna, and then he's off to the races with a 600-word rant about something or the other. Ed gets angry about everything, but he reserves a special circle in hell for academia. In Ed's view, we academics are all pointy-headed nerds. We live in ivory towers. We spend all of our time trying to figure out new ways to scam the taxpayer with some useless research project or another. He went into cardiac arrest one time, I remember, because he'd heard that some academics were researching whether beer and sour cream would make good leech repellents. Another week, he got apoplectic about research into what was up the noses of New Guinea tribesmen. Now, far be it from me to gainsay Ed, but perhaps you'll allow me to make just a few comments in defense of academia. First, there's this business about ivory towers. Yeah, that was true back in the day when apples were bouncing off Isaac Newton's head, but it's a bit unfair now. I don't have time to list all of the many faculty just at the University of Maine alone who get out into the real world when they're doing their research, often under dangerous and quite deprived conditions. But just take me as an example. That 2 years I spent in New Guinea, I had no electricity, I had no running water. The mosquitoes were like lobsters with wings. I had to eat sago jelly, which is a bit like swallowing congealing nasal secretion. And I had to build my own house from jungle materials. That didn't go well, by the way. Anyway, if that isn't the real world, I really don't know what the meaning of the term is. And then, what about those conspiracy theories to scam the taxpayers? Ed claims that climate change, for instance, is all a scam that a chap from the United Nations dreamed up after reading an old copy of Time magazine in his dentist's office. And according to Ed, thousands of scientists from across the world are getting together every now and again in a bar somewhere to try and figure out how to organize this massive conspiracy in order to vacuum money out of the pockets of the taxpayer. I have to say that anybody who has that view of academics has clearly never been to an academic conference. I don't mean kind of attending the sessions, but I mean kind of after the sessions are over, standing on the sidewalk outside and watching groups of 10 to 15 faculty trying to reach a decision on where they're going to eat that night. 6 months later, you can go back and pedestrians are having to pick their way through all the skeletons that are scattered around the sidewalk. Folks, academics couldn't organize a bacchanalia in a brewery if they tried, let alone some massive conspiracy like climate change. And is all this academic research really so useless? Well, remember those researchers who were looking up the noses of New Guinea tribesmen? That research was actually important to nearly half of the world's population. That's the half of the world that still cooks its food over open fires and still heats its houses over open fires. The smoke from those fires has terrible effects on people's lungs, and it's really important to find what's up people's noses, seriously, because you need to know how much of that gunge gets stopped before it gets into the respiratory system. I don't know what they found with the beer and sour cream and whether that was a good leech repellent, But let me tell you, as someone who once got 80 leech bites in one day in New Guinea, if that stuff works, I'm going to be bathing in it every weekend. Is academia without fault? Well, of course not. Academics, we mess up from time to time, and sure, we get sidetracked by a pet research project or two, but most of the time we do give it our all. And along with my faculty colleagues in the front rows here and behind me on the stage, I'm proud. I'm really proud of what we produce here. And that's you folks down there. You're about to go out into the great, wide, and wonderful, and hopefully you're going to improve this ramshackle but still amazing world with your education from the University of Maine. And that, I think, is reason enough to celebrate academia. Thank you, and folks, have a good life.
Thank you, Jim, and congratulations again on being named this year's Distinguished Maine Professor. To welcome the class of 2016, I'm now pleased to introduce Nathan Briggs, the chair of the University of Maine Alumni Association's Board of Directors. Nathan graduated from UMaine with a bachelor's degree in 2002 and an MBA in 2005. He is a third-generation Black Bear, following in the footsteps of his grandfather and two uncles. Nathan is a senior treasury analyst at the Jackson Laboratory in Bar Harbor. Please welcome Nathan Briggs.
Thank you, President Hunter. President Hunter, distinguished guests, faculty, family, and friends, and last but certainly not least, our graduates. I'm honored to be here today representing the University of Maine Alumni Association and to welcome you to the next step of your Black Bear experience, membership in the University of Maine Alumni Association. Today you join 107,000 UMaine alumni. Yes, 107,000, currently living in the United States and 112 countries around the world. If you haven't already recognized it, you soon will discover how your UMaine experience will transform your life. It has shaped your view of the world. It has exposed you to ideas and interests that you might not have found otherwise. It has expanded your creativity and the way you solve problems. It has prepared you for a career or the next step in your educational development. It has enabled you to cultivate relationships that might not have occurred without UMaine as the catalyst. There's one other thing that UMaine does for you. It opens doors and opportunities. Take it from me. The UMaine network of alumni and friends carries a lot of weight. You'll be amazed by the times and places where your connection to UMaine is going to help you. Your UMaine degree will be part of your calling card in social and professional circles. So here's where the Alumni Association comes in. We provide social and professional opportunities around the country and online for you to connect with other UMaine alumni who can be a resource for you wherever life takes you. Your membership and participation in alumni activities help expand your network of friends, mentors, and social and career opportunities. The UMaine Alumni Association also will keep you informed about what's happening at UMaine. That matters because as a graduate, you're a stakeholder in this university. And because you're a stakeholder, we work hard to keep you informed through mailings, through our website, through special events held across the country, and through social media. Today is a great day to be a Black Bear. Wear your alumni pin. Display your Black Bear alumni sticker with pride. On behalf of your 107,000 alumni sisters and brothers, welcome to the family. Thank you, congratulations, and go blue.
Thank you, Nate. The University of Maine System Board of Trustees oversees the management and operations of the University of Maine system with its 7 member campuses, including this flagship land-grant campus. It is a pleasure to have with us today Mr. James Donnelly of Brewer, Maine. Trustee Donnelly is the Executive Vice President and Chief Consumer Officer at Bangor Savings Bank and has worked in banking since 1991. Trustee Donnelly has taken an active leadership role in education, in his community, and in Maine. He was in leadership in the Maine legislature from 1991 to 1998 and chaired the State Ethics Commission. Please welcome Trustee James Donnelly.
President Hunter, distinguished guests, parents, family members, faculty, staff, friends, and soon-to-be graduates. It is an honor to be here with you today. Soon-to-be graduates, on behalf of the Board of Trustees of the University of Maine System, I congratulate you on your achievements and thank you for enriching the communities of the university and of our surrounding communities. My personal congratulations to Ambassador Pamela White and Leonard Minsky, who will be receiving honorary doctorate degrees today. On the local, national, and world stages, you set an example for all of the graduates. My congratulations to the parents. You get a pay raise today. Oh, that wasn't in there. Families, friends, faculty, and staff, we share your pride in the accomplishments of these men and women, and we thank you for your commitment you have demonstrated and for the sacrifices you have made in helping your graduates achieve their goals. Education is a great equalizer. It enables students to reach their potential, overcome socioeconomic barriers, and contribute to the betterment of the world. Graduates, you will possess a top-notch degree from the University of Maine. Be proud of the education that you have earned and shout the praises of the University of Maine's flagship system. We have witnessed your success on the academic fields, arena, in the art studios, in the laboratories, and in the classrooms. But now, we are most interested to see what your future holds, what each of you will accomplish and contribute to our world. Your energy, enthusiasm, youth, and newfound skills will have the ability to greatly improve the lives of others. You may have been inspired by one of these professors, a coach, a community leader, a fellow student. Now it is your turn to share that light and be an inspiration. We know that you have taken many different paths to reach today. Some of you have traveled the traditional route by coming here directly from high school, while others have chosen to serve our nation first. And yet, some of you others have come later in life. In each of these paths, there have been challenges that you've overcome to achieve your place here today. For example, I know one young woman here today who worked part-time in a bank throughout her college degree program. She's graduating in the top of her program today and has already landed a big promotion at that bank starting very soon. This leap forward in her career was because of her drive and because of the way she took advantage of this learning opportunity. She is only one example of the life-changing event that is celebrated here today after years of hard work on your behalf. Congratulations, Wendy, and to all of you that blaze the paths in the future. Congratulations, class of 2016.
It is truly a special event for the University of Maine to bestow honorary doctorates. The Doctor of Humane Letters is an honorary degree given in recognition of exceptional contributions to society, scholarship, or the arts. We are proud to award 2 honorary doctorates, the first to Mr. Leonard Minsky and the second to Ambassador Pamela White. Their full biographies are in your program, but I'll now share with you some highlights of their remarkable lives. Leonard Minsky of Bangor, Maine and Sanibel Island, Florida, graduated from the University of Maine in 1950 with a degree in business administration. He was a staff officer in the U.S. Merchant Marine in World War II and spent 42 years as owner and president of Superior Paper Products Incorporated, a wholesale distribution firm. Mr. Minsky and his wife Renee are longtime champions of the visual and performing arts. Here at UMaine, the couple has made naming gifts for the Leonard and Renee Minsky Music Recital Hall in the class of 1944 hall, and the Hudson Museum's Minsky Gallery in the Collins Center for the Arts. The Minsky's recent philanthropic contributions in the community include naming gifts to Eastern Maine Medical Center and the Bangor Public Library. Last month, on the floor of the U.S. Senate, Senator Susan Collins read a statement into the congressional record honoring Mr. Minsky, whom she had long known as a neighbor and a Maine leader. In the congressional record statement, Senator Collins thanked him for his, quote, uncommon generosity, vision, and dedication, end quote, that have made UMaine an exciting center for the arts and humanities that enriches our state and will do so for generations to come. In recognition of his extraordinary leadership and commitment to the quality of life in our community and our state, Trustee Donnelly will now present the Doctor of Humane Letters to Leonard Minsky, and he will be assisted in the hooding by Provost Jeffrey Hecker.
President Hunter, it gives me great pleasure to present Mr. Leonard Minsky on behalf on whom the Board of Trustees of the University of Maine System have voted to confer the Doctorate of Human Letters honorary degree.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my distinct pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker and second honorary degree recipient, Ambassador Pamela White. Again, her full biography is in your program, but let me share some highlights of her remarkable career. United States diplomat Pamela White, a native of Auburn, Maine, graduated from the university in 1971 with a degree in journalism and began a decades-long career in public service across the globe. He spent the first 2 years as a Peace Corps volunteer in Cameroon, then earned a master's degree at the School for International Training in Vermont in 1974. Ambassador White joined USAID in 1978 and was assigned to West Africa for 2 years. She went on to serve in the Senegal, Haiti, Egypt, and South Africa. From 1999 to 2001, Ambassador White was Deputy Director for East Africa in Washington, D.C., coordinating the delivery of much-needed food to Ethiopia and Eritrea, helping develop a 6-year Ugandan strategy, and overseeing the expansion of programs in the Sudan and Congo. She then headed to Mali as Deputy and Mission Director for USAID. She was Mission Director in Tanzania and Liberia, and an ambassador to the Gambia and earthquake-ravaged Haiti. Ambassador White holds the rank of Career Minister with the Senior Foreign Service, and today she makes her home on Orr's Island. In recognition of her international leadership, vision, and dedication to making our world a better place, Trustee Donnelly will now present the Doctor of Humane Letters to Ambassador Pamela White. He will be assisted by Provost Hecker.
President Hunter, it gives me great pleasure to present Ambassador Pamela White, upon whom the trustees of the University of Maine System have voted to confer the Doctorate of Human Letters honorary degree.
Hi, everybody. It's a real privilege to be here today to share this very special day with my alma mater. President Hunter, thank you for your hospitality and your vision for this great university. Jim Setterly and the fabulous International Affairs graduate students, thank you for your endless support and enthusiasm. My devoted husband, my fabulous son, my 94-year-old dad, all who are here today, and to my 95-year-old mom who is here in spirit, I love you. My Alpha Phi sisters, what a joy to share this day with you. Cindy, 4 years a roommate, lifetime of friendship. I am honored to be your guest speaker today. Recently, two of my very close high school buddies that I hadn't seen in years, and we were all doing a bit of bragging, and I figured I had them beat. So I got all puffed up, and I said, gentlemen, fine, you've done well, but I am going to be the commencement speaker this year at the University of Maine. And one of the jerks said to me, well, gee, Pam, I thought they normally have a famous person. Well, okay, maybe I'm not a famous person, but I'm extremely well known in parts of the world that probably you've never heard of, like Timbuktu, and I'm not kidding. I have spent a lifetime away from home trying to make a difference, but I was made in Maine. I was born in Lewiston, I went to Edward Little High, and I graduated proudly from this very university in 1971. I am proud to say that I am both a red Eddie and a black bear. I don't have a lot of time to spend, so let me be blunt. I'm always blunt. I am not happy with the current state of world affairs. I believe the rhetoric that I hear today, day after day on the media, will not lead to the peaceful existence that we all want. I don't think my generation did a very good job of making this planet, although God, I tried, of making this planet safer and healthier and more equitable. I believe that every single person in this room has the ability to build a better highway to the future than the current very rocky road. And you know what? The little state of Maine holds some keys to a better future. I'll talk about more of that later. First, I'm going to talk about me a little bit. When I was 18 years old, my favorite cousin came home from the Vietnam War near death. The horror of war became very real to me. That same week, a team came to my high school from Washington, D.C., and they talked about the Peace Corps. They told us how even one individual could make the world a better place. Right then and there, I told my family, after University of Maine, I will join the Peace Corps. I can tell you, my Marine Corps father, hi, Daddy, he was not very happy with me. He said, no way, Jose. But oh, I had a mission. I was on a mission. I truly thought I really did. I thought I could save the world, or at least Africa, or at least my village. So I got on a plane, spent some time learning a bit about culture, a lot about teaching English, and something about snake bites and boiling water. And before I knew it, I was in my village, the one I was going to save. Boy, was I shocked. There was no running water, there was no electricity, few vegetables, and no, I repeat, no white people. And they wore funny clothes. They had to walk an hour to wash and to get water to cook and to drink. There were no televisions, one telephone for the whole village, 4 or 5 radios shared by the entire village. And they cooked outside, over an open fire. Their lifestyle reminded me of my camping trip to Moosehead Lake. And Moosehead Lake was fun for 1 week, but how was I going to live like this for 2 years? And I was scared. I was just plain scared. Would these Africans hurt me, humiliate me, ignore me? No, no, and no. These people, it turned out, would unconditionally love me. They would teach me important lessons that would last me for the rest of my life. You do not need a college education to be wise. And many of you in the audience, if you haven't had a college education, I know you're still wise. And you don't need running water to be clean, and you don't need a television to be entertained. Those funny clothes were beautifully handmade, and within a week, I was happily wearing them. Their so-called poverty was true only in terms of dollars. They were so rich in terms of culture and history and love of family and respect of elders. They shared everything they had. There was no me, me, me. I learned that understanding other people's ways and adapting to their lifestyles was not necessarily easy, but it was fascinating, fun, doable, transformational. I didn't save my village, I didn't. It opened my eyes to an entire new world, a wonderful new world. My village saved me. I took those lessons with me for the next 45 years, mostly in Africa, but ending as ambassador to Haiti, helping to rebuild a nation brought to her knees by a devastating earthquake that killed over 200,000 people. I worked hard, I worked very hard, 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so last September in 2015, I joyfully, after a job I thought pretty well done, joyfully I returned home to my beloved state of Maine. A Maine I remembered as not being very diverse. And much to my surprise, in the town of my birth, Lewiston, there was a thriving African community. And those transplanted Africans had a rough start in Lewiston, their adopted city, just like I had had a rough start in my African town so many, many years ago. But a small miracle took place in Lewiston. Since 2001, when the Somalis first arrived, per capita income in Lewiston has soared, crime rates are down as much as 16%, and Lewiston Center's reputation has changed from the combat zone in 2000 to being named an all-American city in 2007. And we also have the magnificent soccer story. On November 7th, 2015, the Lewiston Blue Devils high school soccer team won the state championship for the first time ever. The team members, and here's the key, this is the important part, the team members included players from the United States of America, of course, from Turkey, from Germany, from Congo, Kenya, and mostly Somalia. A competing coach said they were the most unselfish, talented team he had ever seen. There were 4,500 cheering fans in the stands, a record number for any soccer game ever in the state of Maine. CNN wrote, Lewiston's ability to forge relationships in a quickly changing population is an example to the world. One of the Somalis said after the game, we don't want to hear refugees won the game. We are no longer refugee soccer players. We are Blue Devil soccer players. This is really, really hard for a Red Eddie from Auburn to say, but Blue Devils, well done. I'm proud of you. Oh, here's one of my favorite parts of my speech. I still hear rumblings that many immigrants speak English funny. They speak English with a funny accent, I hear. I get such a kick out of it. I mean, really, truly, fellow Mainers. Have you heard the jokes about our accent? If you can understand, and Danny's going to help me out here, if you can understand the next couple of phrases, then you are indeed a Mainer, and you have no right to comment on anyone else's funny accent.
You know, I ain't saying nothing, I'm just saying. That deer right out in front of us, and the next thing you know, my truck was all stolen.
So if you got that, you're a real Mainer. The real news is we are all different, and different, it turns out, is good. I can assure you, When my mother was dying just over a month ago in Central Maine Hospital, she did not care that her favorite nurse spoke with a slight accent. She cared he was professional and gentle with extra soft, gentle hands. She loved her Somali nurse. I can tell you with absolute certainty. Yeah, you can clap about that. Mom? I can tell you with absolute certainty that we need a strong military. I know we do, especially those ships that are being built in Bath. We really need those. But yes, you can clap for that too. But I promise you, building walls, I promise you, building walls and bombing the heck out of communities in foreign countries and supporting drastic torture techniques is not going to win the war on terror. There are no walls high enough and no bombs big enough to wipe out hatred. People can wipe out hatred. Love can wipe out hatred. We need our rhetoric to be as committed and inspirational for the good as the bad guys are for evil. The USA has a negative growth rate. We need immigrants. We need immigrants in Maine. We are a state with a youth drain and a brain drain. We should celebrate when immigrants want to come to our state to work, in our schools, in our hospitals, and to pay taxes, and to care for our very fast-growing elderly population. And we'll also celebrate with wild enthusiasm every one of you who stays to build a better future for our precious state of Maine. Work together. We need you all. I will leave you with my favorite quote by Nelson Mandela, who I had the great fortune of working with when I served in South Africa. Well, not with, but he was in the same country. And I watched him and admired him. I was actually in the same room a couple of times at least. But I want to leave you with this favorite quote of his. And he said it shortly after he came out of prison, after being in prison for decades. And he then built a nation that accepted and worked with the people that had jailed him. I mean, this man was a superhuman being. And I quote Nelson Mandela, "No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. People must learn to hate. And if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. For love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. I only ask you, please, love the bizarre, love the different, the difficult. Open up those wonderful hearts and minds. Graduates, you are young, you are healthy, with inquisitive minds. Travel if you can, even if you have to sleep on floors and sit in the cheap seats. Eat something weird. Dance to new music. Put on a colorful, crazy shirt. Speak a new language. The world, not Orono, not Maine, not just New England, not just USA. The world awaits you." Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador White. That was fabulous. It is customary at commencement to honor the top students in our graduating class, the Valedictorian and Salutatorian. Their full biographies are in your program, but let me give you a couple of highlights of their outstanding academic careers. Nicholas Freed of Millerstown, Pennsylvania, is the 2016 University of Maine Valedictorian. He is an honors college student who majored in animal and veterinary sciences with a minor in chemistry. Nicholas collaborated on research projects on campus and in Montana. He also participated in a physician scientist training program at Michigan State University, where he conducted Lyme disease research. This fall, Nicholas will be an MD, PhD student at Louisiana State University. He plans to become a primary care physician in a medically underserved community and conduct research in zoonotic epidemiology. Congratulations, Nicholas. Please stand to be recognized. Nicholas will receive his diploma this afternoon as a member of the College of Natural Sciences, Forestry, and Agriculture. Connor Smart of Lincoln, Maine, is double majored in accounting and finance and is an honors college student. Connor is the 2016 salutatorian and the outstanding graduating student in the Maine Business School. Connor interned with the certified public accountants firm of Edwards, Faust, and Smith in Bangor. On campus, he was a peer tutor and a student ambassador in the Maine Business School. After graduation, Connor plans to pursue a career as a certified public accountant in Maine and be actively involved in nonprofit and social service organizations. So Connor, please come forward to be the first member of the Maine Business School to receive a diploma. You will note that Nicholas, Connor, and several other students here have academic regalia that include a medallion with a white ribbon. These students will graduate from UMaine Honors College, one of the oldest programs of its kind in the country. In addition to satisfying all other graduation requirements and participating in honors courses, each of these students researched and wrote an honors thesis and then successfully defended it before a faculty committee. I ask that the Honors College graduates please stand. Military training has been part of the University of Maine for more than 140 years. Both Army and Navy ROTC programs are available to University of Maine students who want to become commissioned officers. Each spring, the commissioning of officers into the Army, Navy, and Marine Corps is a time-honored tradition. These programs help students develop self-esteem, self-discipline, physical stamina, skills in teamwork and management, and other qualities essential to success. The battalion staff draw from their decades of valuable experience to teach these cadets what it means to be a leader in today's modern military. I ask that the ROTC graduates and their cadre team please stand so we can acknowledge their achievements and their service to their country. And now, for the very reason we are here today, I call on University of Maine's Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost, Dr. Jeffrey Hecker.
Will all candidates for the doctoral degree please rise? President Hunter, these students are candidates for the Doctor of Education and Doctor of Philosophy degrees. They have completed all university requirements and come properly recommended by the faculty and duly approved by the Board of Trustees. I have the honor of presenting them to you so that they may have their doctoral degrees conferred upon them.
On behalf of the trustees of the University of Maine system, and in accordance with the authority vested in me, I hereby confer upon each of you the doctoral degree, the highest of academic degrees. In testimony of this act, please come forward to be hooded and receive your diploma. The first candidate will be announced by Danny Williams. Dr. Carol Kim, Vice President for Research and Dean of the Graduate School, will announce the other candidates.
Ezra Maxwell Chipola, Doctor of Philosophy and Interdisciplinary Studies, advised by Dr. John Mattis. Derek Thomas Smith, Doctor of Philosophy and Interdisciplinary Studies, advised by Dr. Kirsten Jacobson. Courtney K. Collum, Doctor of Philosophy in Anthropology and Environmental Policy, advised by Dr. Samuel Haynes. Rogaya Ibrahimi Kalan, Doctor of Philosophy and Chemistry, advised by Dr. Carl Tripp. Janie Margaret Stewart, Doctor of Philosophy and Education, advised by Dr. Sidney Mitchell. Mary Tedesco Schneck, Doctor of Philosophy and Education, advised by Dr. Susan Gardner. Adam Lee Chili, Doctor of Philosophy and History, advised by Dr. Richard Judd, hooded by Dr. Liam Reardon. Eric Eiler Reardon, Doctor of Philosophy and History, advised by Dr. Richard Judd, hooded by Dr. Liam Reardon. Rachel Ann Schnell, Doctor of Philosophy and History, advised by Dr. Liam Reardon. Deborah Althea Lewis Hogate, Doctor of Philosophy in Literacy Education, advised by Dr. Susan Bennett Armstead. Patricia Elaine Dieter, Doctor of Philosophy and Psychology, advised by Dr. Cynthia Erdley. Amanda M. Cutts, Doctor of Philosophy and Psychology, co-advised by Dr. Lyra Yoon and Dr. Emily Haig, coded by Dr. Emily Haig. Desiree Nicole Vindari, Doctor of Philosophy and Psychology, co-advised by Dr. Lyra Yoon and Dr. Emily Haig, coded by Dr. Emily Haig. Matthew Doobie, Doctor of Philosophy and Spatial Information Science and Engineering, advised by Dr. Max Eggenhofer. Hong Shane Lee, Doctor of Philosophy and Spatial Information Science and Engineering, advised by Dr. Nicholas Giudici. Ching Han Liang, Doctor of Philosophy and Spatial Information Science and Engineering, advised by Dr. Sylvia Natal. Li Ping Yang, Doctor of Philosophy and Spatial Information Science and Engineering, co-advised by Dr. Kate Beard and Dr. Michael Warboys, coded by Dr. Kate Beard. Abdullahi M. Ahmed, Doctor of Education and Educational Leadership, advised by Dr. Sarah McKenzie.
Will all candidates for all other degrees please rise? President Hunter, upon completion of all requirements, these students will be recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees. I have the honor of presenting them to you so that they may have their respective degrees conferred upon them.
On behalf of the trustees of the University of Maine system, and in accordance with the authority vested in me, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree for which you have been recommended. Now, in order to symbolically reflect this conferral, please move your tassel from right to left. Congratulations. In testimony of this act, you will receive your diploma upon the completion of all requirements. Will each of you please come forward one row at a time upon signal from the university marshals? All others should please be seated.
Miles David Pretlove. Shane Colton Bussey. Jonathan Salcedo. Logan Cole Fulmer. Jacob Christopher Marks. Jose A. Zapeda. James Richard Lavasser. William Anthony McEarney. Nicolette Desiree Hashi. Michael Keith Larson. Michael Basibas Noble. Zachary Lewis Henderson. Jocelyn Rose Nerney. Jennifer Lynn K-Rod. Caitlin Torres. Devin Rose Collins-Ives. Terry Nicole Tricarico. Caroline Ann Emerson. Cynthia Canican. Vianney Salengby. Rebecca Ann Osborne. Morgan Lynn Skank. Stephanie Rose Dunton. Elizabeth Marie Manning. Shelby Lynn Colburn. Timothy David Brown. Michael John Schumann. Jasmine Lynn Richardson. Leah Christine Richardson. Jerry Myrick Mim. Tammy Lynn Mim. Allison Regan Brakey. Sarah Michelle Goslin. Taylor Marie Brackett. Kaylee Ann DeFrancesco. Adam Peter Lynch. Jacob M. Hanley. Samuel John Dubois. Harold Lloyd Stewart III. Jacob Alden Morris. Olivia Ann Staples. Brianna Page Plummer. Melissa Rose Thompson. Kimberly Ann Mulvaney. William Nathaniel Jones. Cody Ray Blackburn. Michael Hakenen. Cody David Thies. Gabriela Maria Peralta. Scott Roger Powers. Margaret Howson. Andrea Christine Ricards. Ilana Beatrice Silver. Mariah Sherry Gear. Jaron Coos Adams. Marissa Bovey. Eric Michael Schaefer. Jennifer Bailey. Catherine Ellen Barron. Laura K. Perez. Bethany Jane Elfaham. Shelby Abigail Martin. Sierra Jade Lamontagne. Victoria Dawn Degenhart. Jeremy Lewis McAdams. Bradley Dennis Shellberg. Megan Faye Cloutier. Dana Derman Lambert. Teresa Stacy Wood. Emma Claire Goff. Macy Alexis Turcott. Sydney M. Dillon. Mariana Ray DeSoto. Jacob Tyler Posick. Stephen Hawes Foley. Tiana Mary Vermette. Robert David Potts. Christina Lynn Metcalf. Patrick Henry Menard. Catherine Jean Chevery. William John Batherson. Peter Samuel Herskovitz. Alexandra Mered Malarkey. Courtney Marie Maherg. Lauren Teller Erico. Delaney Jalen Murphy. Kayla Rachel Raftis. Allison Elaine Thompson. Marissa Lynn Wells. Megan Mary Labby. Sarah Jessica Eaton. Jesse Clark. Abigail Adams McDonald. Laura Catherine Latinsky. Benjamin Joseph Allen. Renee Lavasser. Nathan Mackenzie Pfeffer. Marcus Andrew White. Stephen Richard White. Tori Lee Fournier. Timothy Lawrence Smith. Derek Michael Frey. Oliver Oxygen Rhodes. Ezekiel Joe Rhodes. Megan Elizabeth Foster. Troy Lawrence. Nicholas James Henneman. Emily Alice Wright. Christopher Allen Smith. Abby Taylor Parker. Mary Loretta Hamilton. Ella Jean Solinsky. Matthew James Gorman. Mallory Ann Nightingale. Sarah Alexandra Boss. Ashley Kwiatkowski. Catherine Rose Reynolds. Danny Sade Woland. Eliza Scout Porter. Christina Marie Karen. Samantha Tierney. William G. Yates. Sean Stevenson. Sakira Violet. Charlotte Elaine Tinsley Rose. Micah Peter Thorpe. Daniel Lawrence Charette. Elizabeth Lorraine Rovito. Ginger Brian Treebwasser. Kayla Marie White. Heidi Lynn Mills. Megan Ann Carroll. Mackenzie Lee Tebow. Daisy Alice Lucas Ranwell. Rebecca Miriam Aaron. Shannon Marie Scarlett. Thomas Joseph Williams. Mitchell Peter Benoit. Timothy Robert Belier. Carrie June Cooper. Carrie Beth Daigle. Catherine Jones Bruno. Kane Bryson Landry. Morgan Daniel Cates. Dustin James Levesque. Michael Robert Milazzo. Jennifer Elise Fletcher. Jackson Hamilton Cromwell. Shane William Cloutier. Daniel J. Clark. Eugene Gabriel Wentworth. Anthony Panciocco. Andrew David Snyder. Kyle Logan Marichet. Grace Christina Gould. Elizabeth Abigail Grant. Zachary John Glenn. Marcella May Shevet. Joshua Lee Fable. Stephanie Angelina Moore. Allison Lee Birch. Jonathan Edward Carney. Chase Edward Drummond. Eliza Capon Jones. Margaret Ann Bouchard. Kate Elizabeth Berry. Sarah Linehan Baird. Callie Shane Paul. Tori May Paiva. Alessandra Marie Lewis. Dylan John Ludlow. Adam Casey Paul. Lucy Anna Erickson. Benjamin Howard Brown. Anne-Marie Simoneau Giroux. Christy May Giroux. Megan Elizabeth Fowler. Carolyn Rose Harvey. Talia Ann Sherwood. Kendall Jane Croto. Stacy Jane Gibson. Samantha Drew Packard. Janelle Marie Moriarty. Matthew James Dexter. Marie Ann Miller. Hannah Ashlyn Chambers. Jenna Marie Savage. Boris Miletic. Jessica Adelina Perez. Elizabeth Martin Hewitt. John Peters. James Barry O'Sullivan. Teresa Lynn Short. Marina Rosemary Noor Gray. Anna Taiwa Barabee. Taylor Marie Carpenter. Lauren Marie Swant. Alexandra Smith. Alexandra Stephanie Abrahams. Sarah Elizabeth Mullis. Alan David Bennett. Emily Kate McNair. Grace Marie Kitney. Catherine Elaine Keaton. Elsa Anderson Thibodeau. Benjamin Fern. Maria Jean Sutron. Catherine Tierney Lorelli. Joseph Walter McDonald. Tamara Jean Wallace. Daniel Mallory. Molly Catherine Damaris. Kartika Sari Romano. Jonathan Michael Colby. Connor Michael Schneider. Julia Reed Harrison. Morgan Ann McNamee. Rachel Elizabeth Mahan. Megan Rose Fortier. Michaela Ann Powers. Siri Sadabut. Dylan Patrick Richards. Benjamin W. Welton. Jane Elizabeth Apple. Connor Bryant Hussey. Natasha Memorial Burgoyne. Brianna Marie Payne. Catherine Elizabeth Lees. Amelia Rafaela Courtney. Anne Ireland Fitzgerald. Scott Ambrose Jensen. James Dumas. Cameron James Dwyer. Claudia Doobie Tremp. Addison Lee Labonte. Tyler Edwin Greenlaw. Michael R. Briganti. Connor Kenneth McKeon. What's the last name? Ryan Patrick Skillern. Michael Thomas Bailey. Stephen Paul Roberts Jr. Elias Matthew James Pascarillo. Connor Raymond Giles. Nathan Tyler Farnham. Kieran Parik Coyle. Lucy Daisy Kamaski. Chantel Zena Charles. Michaela Madeline Gustafson. Anna Heisa. Ronald Turner. Sean Lawton. Taylor Amay Cunningham. Michael Joseph Kennedy. Sean Douglas Reese. Darius Stephen Green. Darius Christopher Benders. Christoph Mulamba Shimunga. Lakin Danielle Smith. Abigail Christine Patrico. Margaret Elizabeth Ross. Naomi Isabel Ellsworth. Evan Robert Lane. Caitlin Elizabeth Vogel. Richard Sands Roby. Maxine Lynn Burley. Brianna Catherine Lynch. Mackenzie Joe Maselli. Phoebe Gwynn Chamberlain. Spencer Bertrand Emerson. Kayla Rose Nedo. Okay, good. The Maine School of Business, Dean Ivan Manev. Janelle Eileen Laura Spencer. Xing Shong Zhang. Ramaj Ramesh Raja. Tanner Andrew Adams. Brady Daniel Jakes. Bryce Blair Colbeth. Chase Philip Jurett. Jeffrey Ethan Rogers. Zebediah Thomas Laterno. Nathan Peter Burns. Courtney Hope May. Taylor Clark Locke. Brandon Xavier McCrae. Joseph Wilson Sutton. Ian Wallace Barber. Carl Anthony Witham. Tristan Paul Wertman. Casey Allen Libby. Stephen James Kimball. Matthew James Finn. Samantha Donahue Ramsey. Daniel James Frank. David Joseph Francis. Cyrus Muhammad Ahmad. Spencer Albert Blanchard. Matthew Allen Chapman. Megan Aileen Kavanaugh. Brooke Alexis Fournier. Craig Gareth Blackwell. Kaylee Ann DeRozier. Alexander Ferris Becker. Jonathan Walter King. Darren Jacob Brown. Nipun Vaidya. Corbett Arthur Smith. Just do another card. Let them... Brenda Jimenez. Matthew David Sturgis. Danielle Christine Gabbianelli. Dominic John Vadalaire. Jessica Lorraine Allen. Wendy Michelle Gibbs. Zachary Ty White. Zhen Huang. Amy Lynn Saranone. Yvette Nicole Alexandru. Jay Sue. Mark Peter Lavasser. Sasha Syke. Sasha Sky Antiquera Ordonez. Zachary Michael Lane. Sean Peter Perry. Drew Michael Sansing. Paul George Ewing. Kyle Robert Manson. Hayden Chan. Caitlin Coburn. Matthew Ryan Cinderson. Griffin Alexander Lang. Britta Joe Oliver. Eliza Lee. Michael Geisler. Joshua David Nault. Huang An Thi Lei. Tuan Lei. Claude Rurazira Nkwaziza. Matthew Scott Fern. Michael Patrick Dunleavy. Anthony Picard. Cassidy Lee Svedek. Nicole Page Seavey. Victoria Ann Waugh. Meredith Ellen Wicks. Taylor C. Ottman. Justina Emily Shorey. Ethan Reese Poliski. Justin James White. Brandon Mulcahy Powell. Jacob Nicholas Toll. Zachary Pratt. Connor Will Shaw. Michael George Hurley. Lucas D. Roy. Brooks John Pellerin. Shelby Lynn McIsaac. Zachary Elijah Perigo. Ashley Rose Staples. Gemma Jacqueline Longo. James Harris Turner. Alexandria Marie Gross. Sean Christopher Curtis. Lauren Kelsey Selwood. Kayla Bell Rackley. Sarah Ann Brooks. Lee Catherine Shaw. Caitlin Ann Townsend. James Derek Barker. Brandon Kyle Christian. Eric Joseph Deerwester. Joseph R. Durkin. Grayson Bryden Smith. Michael Francis Minigel. Shane Thomas Netto. Daniel Benjamin Slavin. Blaine Galen Casey. Ryan Craig Bertrand. Lute Tran. Alexandra Nicole Mitch. Leah Gardner Gorin. James Arthur Lowell. Brian Richard Legault. Rakaya Lynn Paulson. Brandon L. Gagney. Jeffrey Thomas Castangue Jr. Ryan Carl Wilson. Travis Cedric Harkins. Jeremiah Petrone Gross. Joshua David Knapp. Jordan Dunn. Sequoia Malone. Jamie Catherine Rowe. Sarah Marie Marshall. Megan Elizabeth Strickland. Siobhan Marie Kaser. Holly Marie Bauer. Ryan Michael Manley. Gavin Delano Higgins. Joel Richard Page III. Alexander Cromwell. Caroline Faith Golden. Andrew Joseph Kerrigan. Cameron James Trask. Benedict Paul Weitzel. Till David Gloger. Stefan Mitrovic. Daniel Werner. Jared Wayne Arsenault. Porter Rooney. Camille Marie Kramer. Tyler Bruce Morin. Gabriel Lauren Melmed. Darren Charles Liu. Alec Bunnell. Margaret Emma Chaplin. Emily Page Vieira. Evan Nathaniel Black. Jason Michael Regis. Michael Patrick Duggan. Michaela Sarah Ferrulo. Nicholas Stewart. Brent Aaron Martin. Sarah Catherine Hogan. Hannah Elizabeth Jabbar. Molly Cronin Finn. Margaret Mary Pettit. Nicole Nellie Dutel. Crystal Clark. Brianna Mackenzie Smith. David Gabriel Patrick. Daniel Calagio. Megan Emily Fournier. Jeffrey Michael Swituka. Sean William Quinlan. Taylor Christine Sharp. Anastasia Kerner. Kirkland Michaela Gates. Whitney Ann Lallis. Shanna Sophia Booth. Gregory John Ramey. Taylor Joseph Wicks. Elaine Ann Tatuni. Ashley Nicole Simard. Brian Andrew Morgan. Will Patrick Merchant. Stephen Michael Swavely. Brendan Timothy Geary. Matthew Morris. Connor Romeo Riley. Zachary M. Foster. Zachary Charles Stinchfield. Lucas Cronland. Michael James Bjork. Ryan C. Davila. Paul Andrew Hansen. Darren Nelson Jondro. Arvin Machado. Division of Lifelong Learning, Associate Provost Monique Larocque. Kathleen Ruby Hill. Tisha Lynn Gagnon. Kyle Ross. Courtney G. Bunker. Walter Jean Grenier II. Sarah Beth Hayes. College of Education and Human Development, Interim Dean Susan Gardner. Crystal Faye DeGrassa. Sarah Eileen Fuller. Amber Lynn Allshouse. Dorna M. Jokai. Kathy Lynn Dow. Janet Ann Vos. Heidi L. Harris. Carissa Lynn Theodore. Whitney Marie Lyons. Joshua Lee Stanhope. Yusen Jai. Wafa Mohammed. Sarah Petrolis. Molly Jean DeBovie. Cameron Alexander Grover. Amy Catherine Schmidt. Molly Martin. Jessa Kyle Mary Hill. Ashley Karina Bailey. Emily Boynton Duggan, Emily Ann Sargent, Zoe Elizabeth Trussell, Sherry Marie Willie, Danielle Marie Daigle, Abigail Lee Marvin, Annabelle Claire Wilson, Emily Rose Cloutier, Sophia Grace Ann Latty, Rebecca Whitman, Rebecca Marie Gifford, Lauren Olivia Joliet, Katie Jean Hinckley, Courtney Withy, Christopher Scott Rowley, Suzanne Marie Driscoll, Matthew Peter Bowen, Emily Donlin Dyer, Taryn Scott, Samantha Lynn Hilt, Madeline Elizabeth Kelly, Jessica Ann Dumont, Kyle Mark Story, Peter Matthew Tomasak, Chad Robert DePrisco, Ashley Elizabeth Danforth, Emily Catherine Travis, Sarah Christine King, Abigail Ann Ebrecht, Hannah Claire Russell, Catherine Michelle Ventrella, Jade Elizabeth McGuire, Amanda M. Cups, Emily Lynn Alisot, Brittany Lee Hutchinson, Lee Ann Robles, Morgan Carol Robinson, Hannah Elizabeth Siroy, Samuel Robert Griswold, Christopher David St. Peter, Rachel Ann Ganya, Brittany Jo Simmons, Megan Elizabeth Tracy, Casey Lynn Watson, Heather Lee Rogers, China Erica Hattie Fuller, Bryce Adam Coffin, Audrey Elizabeth Cliff, Alexis Amanda Ovington, Caitlin Elizabeth Abood, Victoria Marie Calabrese, Anne Marie Chicknosky, Garrett Alexander Lee, Joseph James Galante, Stephen Carl Poirier, Sarah Margaret Heald, Rachel Anna Webster, Emily Brooke Mills, Samantha Lee Pelletier, Anthony John Barletta, John Darrell Anthony Wilkinson, Sergey Leconder Terrio, Lucas H. Higgins, Julie Ann Trask, Sierra Elise Bedard, Rachel Alexandra Clausen, Molly Ann Thompson, Nicole Marie Moore, Nicholas J. Stahl, Taylor Browning Bayer, Samantha Nancy Matthew, Matthew Blair England, William Alden Hoffman. James Kenny Lavin. David Julian Dupre II. Matthew David Dunning. Zachary Daniel Smith. Michael Alexander Chappell Smith. Samuel Wayne Morrison. Tess Elena Robertson. Max Reed Andrews. Laura Michelle Sargent. Julian Casey. Taylor Marie Cochran. Brianna Jo Wilder. Nancy Karen Eggleston. Emily Ann Marsters. Krista Para. Jennifer Lynn Hovey. Miranda J. Grant. Dylan Renee Stillman. Colleen Michelle Cuccinello. Sarah Lynn Frost. Marley Rain Collins. Chandra Dawn Poliquin. John Joseph Dennis. Matthew Allen Brown. Nicole Lynn White. Amanda Irene Rose. Ashley M. Gifford Dicker. Brandy Muriel Carl. Claire Nicole Ross. Sarah Ann Stanley. Alexa Sally. Amanda Hope Travers. Levi Dane Boudreau. Jake Benjamin Chambers. Jessica Megan Blanchard. Christopher James Woodard. Kayla Lee Chamberlain. Erin Patricia Cotterly. Charles Robert Butler. Marissa Ashley Shaw. Kyle Evan Bryant Scherer. Sophie Beatrice Weckstrom. John Andrew Hardy. Katie Louise Bingle. Audra Jo Richards. Natalie Hunter Robinson. Hannah Alexis Gillette. Taryn Delano. Chase Austin Hoyt. Nigel Jones. Blakely Paige Jordan. Isabella Stewart Benzie. Julie Ann Beauchesne. Jana Darlington. Erica Amber Marsters. Jordan Lindsay Orrell. Catherine Elizabeth Lessard. Caleb Fairfield Beal. Cassandra Lynn Crummell. Kayla Marie Cavallaro. Jenna Marie Gisler. Lacey Ann Shazel. Gina Catherine Lowry. Maura Maeve Densmore. Sierra Marie Gridley. Catherine Lavin Hughes. Alexandra Zareen Barzin. Catherine Elizabeth Collegius. Laura Sophia Triandafillo. Logan Elise Neal. Madeline Conrad Smith. Jared Wallace Lyons. Colby Wilson. Emily Page Bordeaux. John Keegan Gilligan. Saeed Dafour. Abigail Lee Bragg. Olivia Campbell Ruthven. Rachel Lee Anderson. Kimberly Jean Watson. Michelle Elizabeth Lane. Chelsea Logan Fogg. Isabella Rose Swan. Veronica Denise Saunders Patterson. Melitza Mitrovic. Emily Ann Sprague. Emily Elizabeth Seavey. Elizabeth Mary Weiss. Jai Hay. Hillary Reeder. Rita Doris Goodwin. And Chelsea Lynn Cardner.
As we bring our commencement ceremony to a close, I would like to share a word of encouragement and a challenge to each of you as our new alumni. We all hope that your time on campus has equipped you for the journey to come. The years ahead will be exciting. You'll be growing careers and families. At the same time, recognize that your education can serve the greater good and find ways to give back. You'll be very busy, but even small contributions from many people have great cumulative impact and make our society stronger, more vibrant, and more equitable. Congratulations to each of you as members of the class of 2016. This concludes the University of Maine's 214th commencement ceremony. I want to thank Professor and Conductor Ginger Yang Wallach and the ceremonial brass, Music Director and Reader Danny Williams, accompanist Dr. Laura Artisani and members of the Black Bear Men's Chorus, Ambassador Pamela White, Leonard Minsky, Trustee Donnelly, and others involved in making this ceremony a wonderful event. Will the audience please rise and remain standing as the stage party, the faculty, and then the graduates leave the arena. And now please join Danny Williams in the Stein song.
brought books here or just take them with us?